lost my job. I'm like, all right, cool. So a month later, like the bills, it was time for the bills or whatever, and I'm like, the bills due, babe, or whatever. And he was like, okay, I'm not working. And I'm just in a month, like it's all kind of hustles. You could have been doing something or whatever. So I told him, I said, look, if I pay these bills, are you going to pay me the money back? This man had the nerve to tell me, why should I pay my wife back for paying our bills? I told this man from day one, my money is my money and his money is our money.
We live in a culture that seeks to redefine a lot of things. Sometimes our redefinition are good, and other times you realize that things are best left the way they've always been. Especially when these things that we're trying to change are ordained by God. Marriage, for example. Marriage is one of the many things that our culture and our generation have continued to redefine over the years. And in my opinion, we keep getting it wrong. Today, there are so many expressions of marriages. Not only do you have same-sex marriages, we have marriages that function as partnership. We have marriages that are functioning as a mere agreement between one another. We have marriages that are functioning as roommates. No matter how your marriage functions, though, the one thing that I believe we should at least be able to agree on is that marriage is the coming together of two people becoming one. If we can agree on that simple fact, it shows us that separatism is no marriage at all. Welcome back to my Darling Bride podcast, powered by Refuge and Fortress Network. It is yours faithfully and sincerely, Pastor Yemi Emmanuel Ludansi, also known as PY. And I have with me my brothers from another mother, PK and PF, otherwise known as Deacon Kunle and Officer Femi. What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing today?
Doing great, my brother.
Awesome, amazing.
Doing great. I'm glad
beautiful
to be
weather
back.
out here. It's a beautiful weather out here. However, there's been a weather warning. It might be a little bit too hot than usual, a little bit more steam. So if you're not a summer person, today. So if you're not a summer person, yep.
Yeah, because we're now in June, and in my opinion, I think everybody should be caught up now to summertime because we're in Texas.
Well, I was about to say that you can't even say anything because your weather is the same all year round.
We've been in summer. We've been in summer for the past God knows what. And do you know what's crazy? Do you actually know what's so? When we first moved to Dallas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know me. I mean, at least PK, you know this. I'm a cold guy. Like I love the cold weather. I'll be outside and I wouldn't even have a jacket on because I just love that stuff. So when we moved to Dallas, when we first moved, man, I would step out of the house and immediately I'm sweating. Top to bottom, I'm sweating, and everybody's looking at me like, "Bro, why are you sweating so much?" Because I have that what do you call it? Is it propensity or what do you call it? I have that thing where I sweat a lot, right? But now, having lived there now, almost 2 years now. My body has adjusted.
Used to it. Yeah.
Like I'm wearing sweaters and it's hot outside because I'm cold. In the heat, I'm like, oh, it looks like my body has adjusted, man.
Right. It's different out here, though. Like I said, There was a time. If I remember clearly, when PY they were in Texas. I think he had on a native, and we were still like buckled down with jackets. I think I had I had like a jacket with either inner that you put on your outfit. I'm looking at this guy's story like this guy's wearing natives. Like, hold on.
The weather over here is just beautiful, man.
It's good to have summer though.
Did you guys hear about the news, the thing that's going on social media right now about I think they said it was like over 40,000 people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
In Houston.
I saw that too. That is crazy.
No, I didn't.
So Go
That is
ahead, man.
massive. That is so. Yeah, I heard that actually, man. That is. It's like they're distributing STD out there, man.
No, no, no offense, no offense to everybody that lives in
no,
Houston, by the way.
no, like if you have anybody in Houston, you can't trust them, right?
So for those who don't know, so there's a news, there's a social media news is circulating right now. I first saw, I heard about it yesterday, and they said last week alone, over 40,000 people tested positive for STD.
No way.
40,000.
That's a lot.
And
No way.
Check this. That's just for STD. Over 17,000 people were tested for HIV.
Oh my goodness.
17,000.
Just last week.
What is
just
going
last
on?
week?
Now this is my own thing now. Now 17,000 people tested for HIV. Imagine before they got tested, they didn't know they had HIV. How many people they've had sexual intercourse with?
Yeah.
And those people haven't got tested yet. So that number's still gonna go up.
So the numbers are coming in.
Because this is just the numbers that was reported. This is just the numbers that was reported.
That's massive.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy.
That sounds like an epidemic to me.
Hey man, listen. The funny thing about it is they weren't.
It's like Houston was targeted or something.
Like
how, bro?
How many populations in Houston?
How?
I don't know, bro. I don't live in Houston.
Good luck to those persons.
But yeah, I was telling my wife, I said, well, at least we're in Dallas,
right?
So Houston and Dallas is like 2 words apart, man.
You're like Houston, keep that energy right there.
Yeah, keep that.
They got the numbers.
Oh man, if you are yet to subscribe, please go ahead and do so now. Also, don't forget to share and comment down below. The Bible says in 1 Corinthians chapter 7 from 10 to 11, it says, but for those who are married, I have a command that comes not from me, but from the Lord. This is Apostle Paul speaking right now. It says, a wife must not leave her husband, but if she does leave him, let her remain single or else be reconciled back to him. And the husband must not leave his wife as well. Before we dive into today's discussion, I want you to pay close attention to this clip of a lady who left her husband because he lost his job for a month and couldn't make his half of the bill. Furthermore, she said she never agreed to combined finances from the beginning. Take a listen.
I lost my job. I'm like, all right, cool. So a month later, like the bills, it was time for the bills or whatever, and I'm like, the bills due, babe, or whatever. And he was like, okay, I'm not working. And I'm just in a month, like it's all kind of hustles. You could have been doing something or whatever. So I told him, I said, look, if I pay these bills, are you going to pay me the money back? This man had the nerve to tell me, why should I pay my wife back for paying our bills? I told this man from day one, my money is my money and his money is our money. Why should I spend my money paying the bills? Like, no, he should have paid me back. So that's when I decided, like, I can't be with this man no more. So I had texted his homeboy, like we all cool. I texted his homeboy or whatever. We went together. I met up with him. And we was chilling, we was drinking or whatever. And I started venting. I started getting emotional. One thing led to the next. I did not purposely mean to do what I did with this friend. But things happen. Like, y'all understand what I'm going through. So, his friend ended up giving me some money or whatever. And he was like, babe, look, don't worry about it. Handle whatever you got to handle. Like, his friend was every single thing I desire in a man. Like, everything I desire in a man. And, ain't nobody trying to hear my side. Ain't nobody trying to hear.
Okay, so can somebody tell us what's going on here right now? Can somebody just give us a quick rundown of what we just heard?
Bro.
What?
Good
Listen,
gracious God.
I'm dumbfounded. I'm telling you, bro.
I was lost.
That's
Bro.
the word. I was lost and now I'm fine.
Cause there's just so much going on, man.
I mean, the
It's
guy that there's a lot wrong with the foundation. That's just because if you saying according to her, she said she made it clear, she made it known that our money is our money. His money is their money. So which means you have no intention in supporting this man financially. And I'm not sure if you're supporting him in other areas of emotion or whatever, but financial is clear. You're not really to support. And to my understanding, the only reason why you paid that bill is because you also staying in there and you have no other choice. You can't leave the place. You have to pay the bill. So you paid it, expecting, I don't know if the guy gave a verbal approval that I'm gonna return the money, but somehow she figured it out on her head, saying, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pay this bill, but I know he's gonna return it. When you know your spouse or your partner had lost his job, and I mean nowadays they don't hire you within the blink of eye. It takes a lot of processes depending on what kind of job you're applying for.
Mhm.
So it's just hard for to hear. I
It's
mean,
very crazy, man. It's very crazy. The one thing she said, I mean, I think the video is pretty straightforward. Her husband
yeah,
lost his job.
yeah,
mm-hmm.
It's been a month now. He hasn't really found any job, and the bill is due. They had to pay the bill, and she's complaining that she has to pay the bill, and she's asking him, "Will you pay me back, even if I cover the bill?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Why would I have to pay you back? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's our house, our bill."
yeah. We
Mm-hmm.
stay in
Like
there.
the one thing she did mention though that took me, it didn't really take me aback, but it really, it's like it's something that I've heard over the years and I keep hearing.
Mm.
And in some circles, we laugh about it. We say, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah," yeah," but it's becoming a norm, and it's almost like people coming up in marriage are buying into this mentality as well. This
It's
mentality
crazy.
of my money is my
My
money,
money
your money is
is
our
our
money.
money.
Where
Mm-hmm.
did that start
Where
from?
did that
I
start
have
from?
no
That
idea.
that's why I said initially I'm dumbfounded because I don't want to get out of character.
I mean,
Is that a
it
place we can
is it is
say she's
it
full
is
of BS?
like you rightfully said, we laugh about this, we talk about this, but
Hmm.
it's sad that now in this generation, it sounds more like it's becoming a norm. It sounds more like people saying ridiculous statements like that, people are not even looking at them like they're crazy anymore. It's like it's okay for them to
It's
say
okay.
stupid statements like that. You said something in the beginning when you talked about what marriage is. You
yeah,
said marriage is the coming together of two people becoming
becoming one.
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 Yeah,
And lately, it seems like people are forgetting the fact that becoming one is not just numbers, it's
uh-huh,
becoming one in everything.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
Yeah.
becoming one in you guys having the same mentality that we're coming together to build a home.
yeah,
We're coming together to as partnership.
yeah,
It's a commitment.
yeah,
It's not just an emotional or physical intimacy. It is you're bringing everything you have, everything you own, your
yeah.
ideas, your needs, your wants, your money, everything comes together, and
Yep.
you're trying to figure out how to live life together.
Hmm.
It's
So you coming with that crazy mentality that
mhm,
my money is my money and your money is ours, like P PF rightfully said earlier on, the foundation has been wrong, because
yeah,
Very.
if she truly made that statement
yeah,
and the
Ah,
guy went along with it, then he's crazy too.
you
yeah,
get
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. No,
I
honestly,
mean,
because where do you go from saying my money, your money? If you're already coming into marriage that kind of mentality, you have it all jacked up.
From the
And
beginning.
and and a lot of people, I've spoken to quite a number of people, and they will
hmm
tell you, I have my reasons why I separate my finance. I have my reason why we do this. I've seen marriages where the wife has her own room, The husband have his own room. Like that's why I was saying in the beginning, a lot of marriages are functioning and they're expressing themselves in weird ways, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
I'm
all the
just like,
time.
where did we get all this from?
Yeah.
Like you were saying,
Yeah.
marriage is the entanglement, literally the entanglement of the two becoming one. So much so that when you see one, you see
You
the
see
other.
the other.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And I
Absolutely.
feel like this is really why we don't have a great understanding of what our relationship with Christ is supposed to be like.
Thank you very
If we can't
much.
Mhm.
understand marriage, how are
Body
you going to
Thank
understand
you
your
very
relationship with
much.
Christ?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Because the whole
Absolutely.
point of
Because
it is that
uh,
you become one with Christ.
Hmm.
exactly. Because
Everything
that
is in
that
tune.
relationship with Christ would be like it would mean nothing to you
Absolutely.
if you don't understand the basis of marriage.
I mean,
No one
And
says
and
you should be perfect, but at least you need to understand what marriage really is all about. What are you getting into?
yeah.
You're not just getting in there to just for the fun of it, or for the social media picture of it. No, you're coming together. You listen.
it's a union. It's
It
a
is a
union.
union.
We
Yeah.
fight together. We do things together. We
Listen.
come in to accomplish a goal together. We pay.
Absolutely.
We take care of these bills together. We do a
Absolutely.
lot of things
Yeah.
together. So like, and this is one of the reasons why I actually say that there's something wrong with the foundation, because someone like that,
Mm,
you cannot tell me she just started doing that when after you guys got married. It's
Right.
has
yeah.
been
Right.
that's who she is.
Mm,
Right.
That's who she has
mm,
Right.
been.
The red flags would have been popping left and right
Absolutely,
mm,
from
yeah.
the beginning.
Because for
mm,
instance,
You know.
you dating you guys on a dating stage, you go out often, of course, in a society, everybody expect the man to pay the bill, which is okay, fine. Okay, you
mm,
pay the bill, but
mm,
there'll be a time where you as a female or as a lady, you're like, babe, I'm taking you out today.
mm,
You
mm,
don't have to worry about
mm.
all just get ready. I
Do you
take
know
care of the
what's
bill.
crazy, PF? Do you know
Mm,
what's crazy, officer? The thing about it is, when there's so much entanglement, the truth of the matter is, in that scenario that you just brought up, there's actually nobody paying the bill. It's both of y'all paying the bill. Like, for example, in
exactly.
our case, our finances has been combined since God knows how long, since
Hmm.
even before we got married, right? Since our
Yeah.
courting phase, we've been combining finances.
Oh wow, that's good.
And when we go out, we have one card. Yeah,
Mm.
I'm the one swiping the card, but we're
Yeah,
both paying for the
we
thing
both paid for
because
it.
Hmm.
our
Hmm.
money is in that. Our both our
Right.
money is in
Yeah.
that card.
Hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I may be the one swiping the card, but it's our money that we're using. You understand what I'm
And
saying?
and you know, when it comes to finances, it, you have to you have to do what works for you, right? What
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
works for me can be different from what works for you, can
mm,
be different from what works for Officer Femi and his wife. So I wanted to throw that in the mix of this. Like you rightfully said, PY. Since we got married, also our money has been together, but we have some people that have separate accounts.
yeah,
They have a joint
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Account.
family account.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever it is, whatever way you handle your finances at home, the bottom line is that when it comes to caring for the family, when it comes to building up your home, the mentality should be that we are all in this together.
yeah.
It is not
Yep.
a me thing, it is not a you thing, it
Mm-hmm.
is
Us thing.
us thing.
Austin.
Yeah,
It is us. So whatever way you do your finances is left to you. That is fine.
yeah,
Nobody is saying one is wrong or one is right. But there should be this mindset that it is not, oh, let me take care of this today so you
mm,
Right.
can take care of this tomorrow. No,
mm,
Mm-hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
is
mm,
how are we going to
mm.
tackle this problem together? What
Together.
are we going to do
Yeah,
to figure this thing together?
yeah,
It's a
Right.
together thing.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It's a together
It's
thing.
always, it has to be a together thing if you're calling it a marriage.
Now, I love what you just said. You said it has to be a together thing if you're calling it a marriage. Now, I have to say this because everything we've been saying is coming from the perspective of our understanding based on the Bible.
Thank you.
And the Bible is our own guiding principle when it comes to marriage,
Right.
which leads me to wonder, okay, that does our culture believe that it's difficult to obey the Bible when it comes to marriage? Or and why do we think it has become so? Why do we think it has become difficult to obey the Bible when it comes to marriage?
Well,
I mean,
in my opinion, right, I think culture gives us that personal freedom.
Uh-huh.
It gives us that self-fulfillment. It makes us feel like we're making decisions that benefits us.
Mm,
So whatever it's in whatever is it's a norm, a cultural norm, is usually something that we want to naturally do. It's not
uh,
something that is we don't have to make sacrifices for it. So
mm, mm,
when it comes to, there's so much things that is culturally accepted but not
yeah,
biblically accepted.
accepting. Mm-hmm.
correct,
You get what I'm saying?
correct.
Mm-hmm.
So we tend to lean more on what favors us, and that is culture,
Culturally,
Mm-hmm.
than what God is saying.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So, and unfortunately, and this happens in the church also,
yeah,
where a lot of things becomes a religious thing,
Mm-hmm.
activity, or practices that we at some point forget what the Bible is saying because we've been doing it so much or
So
so
long.
long
Yeah.
mm,
in the church or as a culture. So, for example, the mentality of um, we going out, whether in the dating phase or even in the marriage phase, and it's the man that has to pay.
Right.
There is nowhere, anywhere in
Anyway,
the
it's
history
being
of
said.
humanity
mm,
that
mm,
says
So
that's
much
how it
pressure,
should
man.
be.
It's crazy.
mm,
Or the culture has painted it that way,
Mm-hmm.
and we've gone along with it. And I won't, even myself, I wouldn't go out and have my wife pay for things
mm,
because
You know,
it's just, So then I'm just using that as an example, but when it comes to it, but it's just a whole lot of things that we've culturally accepted,
mm.
and it has become a norm that we completely forget. Okay, what exactly can we go back? Can we just try to go back to what the foundation of marriage is? Why God even brought man together with woman? What was God's intention? What is the foundation? What is the meaning of marriage? We've gotten away from that because there's so much things we want to do on our part. There's so much things we're comfortable with. There's so much things we would rather do than just to submit to the leadership of what the Bible
What the Bible is
is saying.
saying. I mean,
so
yeah.
there was a I wanted to say this because PK mentioned the old dating how culture make it know like make culture kind of like approve it like as a man if
Mm,
you go out you have to pay. You know,
mm,
there was a show I was watching that 50 Cent happened to be on, and they asked him a question, very funny question,
mm,
and he gave a very fantastic answer, which I didn't he appealed to me like that's actually true.
mm,
They asked him was like, so what do you think should pay when it comes to dating when you go out on a date? And the guy 50 Cent simply said, well, whoever's idea is to go on a date. If she pick up the idea to go on a date,
oh my
girl, you
goodness.
on a treat.
No, but does that apply in marriage though?
No, but the thing about it, no, that doesn't apply in marriage because in marriage again, you're doing things at once. You're doing things together. Like for instance, me and my wife, just like PK also mentioned, everybody has different settings on how their marriage
Mm-hmm.
financial things is. However, like me and my wife, we have a family account. There are some dates that I would pay for it because I didn't want to mess with the funds on the family account. There's some date that we go that we pay from it with the family account, and there's some date that she plans and she pays for it. So everybody have a different setting, but the understanding is we are both agreeing to do this. If I'm paying with my card, I'm letting you know I'm paying with my card, and I'm giving you a reason why I'm paying with my card, and you are in approve with that reason. Because if
Mhm.
you say no, oh baby, don't worry, I don't care. Well, maybe my reason could be the fact that, oh, we have a bill coming up, and I don't want the family account to uh to be lower than the bill that's coming.
Mhm.
She can see this say, oh, babe, don't worry about it. Still go ahead. By that time, we'll put something else in there. Or, okay, I understand what you're saying. That makes sense. But you can go ahead and pay with your card.
Yeah.
So we both, in the essence that we are still agreeing to do this together,
Mhm.
So, and I think that's the most important thing. And when it comes to marriage, you both, again, the Bible says where two or more agreed. So there has to be an agreement between you and your spouse because you are one.
Mhm.
It's just like sometimes if she has to go to grocery shopping, she does let me know, baby, I just spent so much on it. So when I do look at the family account, I'm not shut out. What's all this transaction coming from? I'm not gonna be sure because she's already communicated. She already communicated that with me,
Yeah.
letting me know what's about to happen or what's already happened. So, and I think yeah, that's like yeah, there has to be an agreement. There has to be an agreement, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I I'm hearing what you guys are saying, and the one thing that's coming to my mind right now is even in our agreements, especially in the context of marriage, in the context of biblical kingdom godly marriages,
Mhm.
whether it's finance, whether it's something else entirely, I will say this to those who are listening. Let's endeavor to be careful, to be very careful about what we agree on,
Hmm.
because that word agree seems to
Mm-hmm.
be a blanket word that can be tricky as well,
Mm-hmm. True.
because we can agree. The Bible says, okay, if two or more people can agree on things, then everyone, we can agree that every time people come to our house, we'll be very nice, we'll be cordial, we'll act
Mm-hmm.
like we love each other and everything like that.
Mm.
But please, once they leave, know your lane, know your room. You go to your room, I go to my.
Know your square roots.
And guess what? Guess what? Guess what? It works for some
Oh,
people.
Jesus
It's an
Christ.
agreement.
Mm.
So they
Mm.
come to that agreement and they say, okay, well, we understand now. We have an understanding. Once
Mm.
people are around, we'll show face, we'll do what needs to be done. Once they're gone, everybody knows their corner. That's an agreement. So essentially, I'm saying that we should be careful
Mm.
the things we agree on
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
marriage that is a disguise for separatism.
separatism.
Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you.
It's a disguise. Yeah, we
It
agree.
is a disguise.
It's a disguise. It's a
Marriage
disguise for
is not
separatism
separatism.
at all. For example, I remember
No.
a time there was somebody that came to our house to visit us, and I don't know exactly what the scenario was or what happened. Um, my wife was telling that person that we were having a conversation, we were just talking, right? And it came up in the conversation that I needed to travel. I do this annual travel thing that I do on a yearly basis. Since we moved to Maryland, I've been doing this. I would travel to a very far place. I could drive maybe like 2-3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I would rent a hotel in like a remote area,
Mm-hmm.
and I would go there for about 2-3 days just to pray by myself. So I do this on an annual basis, just me,
Mm.
nobody else. I turn the phone off, just. And so it was coming up. I think this was last year it happened. That time was coming up again for me to do it, where I travel to go pray. And we had a visitor who came to our house, and my wife and the lady, they were talking, and she brought up an idea for us to do something as couples on that weekend that I usually travel. And my wife was like, "Oh no, that weekend may not work because PY is going to be going traveling for a prayer retreat that he does on an annual basis." That's it. That's what she said. What is the response this woman is going to come up with?
Mm.
Well, she go, well, that's great, but what about you? When do you take time off?
Ah,
When
Ah.
do you take time off
ah.
away from the family? Is it just him that travels? Is it just him that da da da? My wife is like, hold up, hold up. I
Ask for your
ain't,
opinion.
I ain't asking your opinion, lady. I was just telling you what's going on with our schedule. Who told you? Who told you I don't take time off for myself? What gives you? Why would you just
Ah.
assume
That's
that
sick.
just because he's traveling for a prayer retreat that I don't have my own me time? Because
Very
you
much,
over here, you know
very
what I'm
much
saying?
woman solidarity.
So my wife had to just clear that thing up very quickly. And, I heard it. I didn't say anything. After she left, I said, you know what, wife, I five. She gave me I five. She was like, what happened? Because this was like long, the situation happened, we've moved on, everything like that. But I still
Mhm.
remembered. And I told her, I said, you know what? I didn't want to say anything because I wanted to see how you would handle that situation. And she was like, oh yeah, like she's not about to have her paint me as something that I'm not, or paint her as someone that she's not, simply
Mhm.
because you said we're traveling for prayer retreat. So does that mean I don't take time off for myself? You know, but the crazy thing about it is the things we agree on sometimes can be a disguise for separatism. That if we're not careful, we say, okay, we've agreed. Like, okay, finance is a touchy topic, and
Mhm.
everybody has the way they understand how to move finances around in their relationship and their marriage.
Uh-huh.
And if your heart is in the right place, your mind, your heart is in the right place, the way you guys have described it may work. But some people
Mhm.
do it from a different heart posture where they say, okay, we'll have a one account that we put family money in, but we have this account for me, we have that account for you. I put my money here, you put your money there, and then we have a joint account that we put money in and we'll use this card. Blah, blah. If you're doing it from the right heart posture, where your heart is in the right place, no problem. But
Mhm.
there's some people where their heart is not in the right place.
Not in the right place,
They
exactly.
use that agreement, that financial agreement, as a disguise for separatism. When
Hmm.
you really
Okay,
get down
okay,
to
I
the
see where you're
bottom
going
of
with
it, you
this.
ask them, why do you do that? They would then tell you, if you really get them in a close circle and you
Hmm.
really, really get to the bottom of things, they will tell you, well,
Hmm.
because you know what? I don't want no surprises. He can wake up tomorrow and
Uh-huh.
say he's done. She can wake up tomorrow and say
Okay,
she's done.
I see where you're
You know,
going with
and
this.
so I
Yeah.
Yeah.
can protect myself. Let me put some money to the side, let him put some money to the side. And then when you ask them on the surface, though, I've seen this happen. That's why I'm saying this.
Hmm.
On the surface, they will say, oh, because sometimes you want to get them a gift and you don't want them to know, so you want to surprise them. So we believe sometimes it's good for you to have your own money, let them have their own money. It's good for you to have your own this and let them have their own that. Before you know it, it starts from one own this and own that to another. Oh, this is just my side of the room, and that's your side of the closet.
Mm-hmm,
Mine,
mm-hmm.
it's mine
Yeah.
that. I had to correct my wife the other day. Every time she talked to our kids to go get something from the room, and she does this all the time. Oh, go to my bed and bring my phone. Go and close my room door. Don't use my bathroom. I already told you. How many times am I going to tell you? Don't go to my bathroom. And I looked at my wife. Hey, my bed, my room, my this, my that. Hey, it sounds good now, but you're teaching this kid something that is not. You're
Right.
doing separatism without
Mm.
even knowing it.
Right.
This concept of my room. And so now the kids have heard it so much. Whenever they want to go grab something, they will go to mommy. Mommy, can I go get something in your room? Mommy, can I go sleep on your bed? You know what I'm saying? So these are simple little things. They're very subtle. They're not really like very like blown out of proportion, but they're very subtle that if care is not taken, especially in a home where they don't have the foundation of the agreements that we're just talking, this doesn't really mean anything, our heart is in the right place. If you're in a home where their heart is not in the right place, little things like this is where it starts from. And
Yeah.
before you know it, there's so much separatism
Surface the same.
that you begin to wonder, is this even a marriage?
Mm.
Like
Yeah,
you had rightfully said, it's all about what you understand marriage to be to you, right?
yeah,
So, like you rightfully said in the very beginning, some people like see it as a partnership. Some people don't see it as a partnership. Some people as a roommate. Some
Mm-hmm.
see it as, you see it in whatever way you see it. But the fact remains that if it's not aligned with what the Bible is saying,
Yeah.
then it is wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Point blank is anything that smells separatism is wrong
it's wrong.
And
in the
and
marriage.
and
There's no about it.
yeah.
I wanted
Eh,
to quickly point out um, about the audio we listened to. The I think like PF rightfully said, the problem this is not something new to the guy. It shouldn't be something new to the guy. If it's something new to him, then he has a bigger problem. These are red flags that should have been popping left and right
Popping up.
from the
Yeah.
very beginning. For the lady to be
Dude.
talking about my money is my money, your money is our money, for her to be even texting his friend and talking about because the guy gave him money, now is everything is looking for in a man
Yeah,
Imagine.
and all
PK,
that
it's not only
nonsense.
texting. I think they had a sexual. They had a,
No, they
they,
did.
Yeah,
they,
They
they
yeah,
did.
had
Talking
sex.
about I don't purposely.
it
I
didn't.
I, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
purposely do it.
girl,
Mm-hmm. Mm,
Everybody's
you got me
thinking
all
this and that.
twisted.
Lady,
mm,
lady, you going
What
to
you
mm.
hell.
cooking?
You going to
Oh,
hell.
You said.
You are going to
whoa,
hell.
whoa
Cause
now,
bro,
whoa
I've been trying to compose myself all
Like,
through
what
this
is she cooking? You
podcast.
sound nice to yourself.
now. Oh man. Okay, let me ask you guys this. Let me ask you guys this because of what you brought up, PK. Because of what
Babylon. When you, I mean, one thing list another. That's not bad. That's not something that list another. That takes a process, planning.
oh my
Oh
goodness. Now,
man.
Oh
now,
boy.
because of our society and the cultural norms that we have, do you guys think a man's ability to produce financially does his ability to produce financially does it determine how much or how less of a man he is? Right? And if not, what makes a man? What makes a man? Remove from his ability to be able to produce financially, what makes a man?
If we
Uh,
take that away,
Yeah.
yeah,
oh, it's
it's
a whole lot.
it's a whole lot. One thing I always say, because I know people always they and I wanted to say something actually before I mentioned to go ahead and say what I wanted to say just now. If you we I know PK mentioned that's the foundation. Like if marriage, if what you're practicing in your marriage is different from what the Bible says, then it's completely wrong, which is very true. But also keep in mind, some people also reading the Bible wrong. If you read something that you're not completely sure, I think it's wise to seek someone that can explain in depth for
Mm,
you,
mm-hmm.
Mhm,
because you will see a lot of comments saying that, but the Bible said the man is the one protect and provide.
mhm,
So, but they read that part and they forget about the rest of the things below. There, that maybe that was the one verse, one with the chapter, and they read the verse and they forget
Mm-hmm.
about the other, and they sticking to that. So I think it's something that the church also have to do as far as like marriage counseling, all this, which I happen to went to my church marriage counseling, and there's a lot that was revealed,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not sure those things. I've never heard those things on the people, but at least they tell you, they go in depth with you when it comes to marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they kind of like tells you, they break everything down for you. So people shouldn't just read Bible and just pick one thing and say, okay, this is what I'm sticking with.
Mm.
You should
Well,
complete the whole chapter on this to
yeah, I mean,
understand what it's what the whole marriage is all about. And the other thing I wanted to say is, as a man, as a man, you are in your home. You are a leader.
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
You're supposed to lead.
mhm,
You leading your. They trust you enough to for you to provide a gateway or a path that they can also follow. They right
Leadership.
behind you.
Mm-hmm.
So you are a leader. That's one great thing I always tell people that you're leading your family. So which means you as a person you have to be very very careful
Mm,
of the decision
You
of the
make.
of the paths you're going because
Mhm.
they are right along with you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, like you rightfully said, we have people that kind of reads Bible just to suit their purpose, but we're not even going into that. But to answer your question, PY, uh, a man's financial productivity does not solely determine his worth,
mm,
right? You have his character.
mm,
The man's character, the integrity, his honesty to himself, to his family. You have his responsibilities, what he does, who he represents in the
Hmm.
house. You
Yeah.
have the leadership and the mentorship, like PF talked about. You have the strength, his resilience, how he kind of stands as a role model, or either to his wife or to his kids, or how he faces challenges, and how he kind of uh, uh, I'm looking for the right word, how he kind of handles it. You
mm,
know, there's all that into play.
Yeah.
The emotional intelligence of it,
Hmm.
of how he's able to understand, how he's able to manage everyone at home. There's
mm,
so much to it. I think we had a conversation the other day when we were talking about the role of fathers
mm,
Yeah.
mm,
in the home.
mm,
We have beautiful, great single mothers out there, no doubt
mm,
about it, but
mm,
you cannot take away the role of fathers in
mm,
the life of the children,
mm,
in the life of the wife even.
mm, mm,
So
mm.
let's take the financial part out of it for a second.
Yeah,
There's so much a
yeah.
Hmm.
man brings to the table,
The
just like
w-
a woman,
yeah,
but there's just so much you got to consider outside the financial part of things.
yeah. Before before we even move on to the news of the week, there's one scenario I'm gonna paint to help our men, our women listening, our listeners when it comes to this question, because this question is a very big question,
Mm,
creates a lot of debates in many circles,
mhm,
where some men even say they will tell you like, I feel worthless if I
mm,
can't work.
Hmm.
mm,
I feel like there's nothing to me other than this job that I bring to the table.
Hmm.
They feel like the job or the money they make gives them a sense of worth. It gives them a sense of respect. And if they can't respect themselves, who else is going to respect them? You know?
yeah.
And the way I would try and help people understand this, because if you don't have this understanding, you can hurt yourself
Right.
in trying to do more than you can, or it's just anyway. I look at the mafias, mobsters. I look at the Italians. I look at the Irish, and I look at how they function. Now, take it with the fact that they're mafias. Take it with that, put that to the side for now.
Mhm,
When you see mafias, the way they operate is your family is an entity, meaning it's a business. And they run their family like a business where there's a CEO, a CFO, and officers and a bunch of people who have different delegations and responsibilities. And then that family answers to a bigger family.
Hmm.
In the whole mafia setup and organization and things like that. Why am I saying that? I'm saying that because when you look at your marriage as an organization, an entity of its own, you know that there has to be leadership,
Hmm.
there has to be management, there has to be productivity
Yeah.
in how we operate and how we function as an organization. Having that understanding, you know, okay, this is my manager, this is my boss, this is my responsibility. This is how everything we do individually come together to form a whole. And this is how what I do factors into the progress and the moving forward, the achieving the goals and the objective of the organization. This is how it functions. What I do, this is how it shows. What my husband does, this is what he does to help the organization move forward. What my kids do, this is what they do to help the organization move forward. Now, in the stage when the kids are babies, 4-year-old, 5, 6-year-old, it doesn't mean anything to you right now. But when they're older, when you can delegate responsibilities to them, you begin to see it clearer in the direction that the organization, which is the marriage or the family, needs to go. You begin to see that husband will lead their family in such a way where they will say, okay, daughter, you're going to be a lawyer. Yeah, forget passion. You're going to be a lawyer because I need you to handle our books. I need you to handle, to protect us from a legal standpoint. I need you to know these things. Son, I want you to be NYPD so that you can become in the legal system, you can get into the police system, help us understand what's going on in there, give us tips and information so that you can protect us from a police standpoint. I want you to go into politics so that you can be the mayor of this city. They will put their kids strategically in places, all to help the organization, which is the family, function and achieve a set goal. Now, they do it for illegal reasons. They do it for mafia. They do it for all those, like in drugs and things like that. But when you look at that template, when you look at the way they operate, you see wisdom in that. And you see the role of the man in all of that. The man, to me, is a chess player. He is the man who has the strategic wisdom of God to direct his family in the way that brings honor to God the most, that brings glory to God the most, but also sets his family up for success.
Right.
In fact, if you look at our fathers in the day, in our grandfathers and our fathers' fathers, many a times they were, they would go to the farm, they would do the farming thing and everything like that, but then they would always come back home. They had multiple wives, and these wives had different responsibilities. One wife went to the market and she sold pepper. The other wife went to the market and she sold cassava. The other one went to the market and she sold rice or cocoa or whatever it is. All three wives would come back home and say, okay, this is how much we made. The husband would then say, okay, let's use this money to do this. We're going to use this money to get this property. We're going to use this money to buy more machine. We're going to use this money to buy this. We'll pay for our school fees. The husband would direct and bring order to how we're going to do things that will set us up for a better future. When a man can see himself in that light, he will know that whatever money comes in, whether it's from him or from the wife, is all for a goal, a specific purpose that sets our family up for a brighter future. Where it's coming from really shouldn't matter to you.
Yeah.
So if you ever find yourself in a position whereby, for whatever reason, maybe you are you're an accountant, you studied accounting, and you find yourself marrying a doctor. You don't have to do 2+2 to know that doctors make more money than accountants. That's just what it is, right? Do you then say, well, I can't marry you because you're going to be making more money than me? No, because now that you're married to a doctor, all of a sudden you have more buying power. If your accountant money can only buy you a 2-bedroom, now with the buying power of the doctor, you guys can buy a whole mansion based on what you can bring together accumulatively to move your family and your organization forward. In the same breath, your wife knows too that after God, my husband is the Olori Ebi of this family. He's the one that would give us direction. Yeah, I can bring in $1 million. I can bring in $2 million. At the end of the day, I rely on his leadership to teach us, show us, lead us on how to multiply this $2 million.
Yeah.
If the man does not understand that that's what role he plays, first and foremost, he will never understand anything else. No, he won't. He won't understand that. He will be so. He will feel so less than because of what the society tells him he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know, more than the money you're making, the money you're bringing in, you are supposed to provide direction, instructions, leadership. And you don't need money to do any of that.
No, you don't.
Anyway, so
I like the fact that you use the word provide. So because I know a lot of people use the word provide and under the provide is finance. So
yeah,
I like that. I like that you come from.
You know, it's not just finances, but we thank God. You thank God. You know, time is fast spent. We're gonna bring it to a close, but man, you know, God bless this lady. Maybe God will give her a better understanding. But you know, like officer rightfully said in the beginning, foundation, man. Once the foundation is destroyed, Bible says, "What can the righteous do?" According to an article that was written by Lucy Smith of aconsciousrethink.com, she wrote an article titled 6 Early Signs Your Wife is Thinking About Leaving You. She writes in her article that it is a fact that many marriages will end in separation or divorce, but there is one type of breakup that has come to be known as the walk-away wife syndrome. The walk-away wife syndrome is when a woman suddenly and unexpectedly leaves her marriage and most often initiates a divorce. This is also referred to as the neglected wife syndrome that comes as a result of intense, prolonged periods of disagreement, argument, and a host of many one-off issues that blow things out of proportion. In that article, she lists out 6 early signs your wife is about to pull a fast one on you. And she said, number 1, she becomes distant.
Yep.
When you start to notice her becoming distant, she about to pull one on you. Number 2, she stops arguing with you. She don't even care about it anymore. You know what? Go ahead, do what you got to do. Number 3, she no longer wants to get intimate with you. Number 4, she doesn't factor your needs into her thinking. Number 5, she avoids talking about future with you because the way she sees it, you ain't gonna be there no more. So she don't even want to have that conversation with you. And then number 6, she initiated or she hinted at finance separation, which is crazy because that's what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
Anyways, for more information, you can go on to www.aconsciousrethink.com. Very quickly, let me stop here and say this. Are you or anyone you know in need of coaching or counseling? Are you in the process of making a big life or relationship decision and you are looking for someone to show you how to navigate the transitional phases from your now to your next? I know you're listening to us every day. More than us coming together to talk is us also trying to help. And we would love to sit with you for free. For free. You can go to www.drfnetwork.org or you can send us an email at info@drfnetwork.org to book a free 30 minutes to an hour session. A free 30 minutes to an hour session where we will sit with you one-on-one, have a conversation with you, understand your situation, and provide guidance, biblically sound based guidance with the wisdom of God, with the help of God, on how you can transition from your now to your next. If you're in a position where you're making a big life decision or a big relationship decision, and you need someone to talk to, you just want to bounce ideas off of somebody, You want to make a decision, you don't know anyone else you can talk to. Maybe you can't talk to your pastor about it. Maybe you can't talk to your parents about it. But you need somebody who will give you an unbiased opinion, unbiased advice, unbiased coaching and counseling. Please reach out to us for a free 30 minutes to an hour session. Go to our website at therefnetwork.org or send us an email at info@therfnetwork.org.
Thank you, PY, for giving us the DMB news of the week. That is a free section, friends, so please make use of it. But in case you did not know, the US government signed a bill this month that would automatically enroll men into the selective service, enroll men between the age of 18 to 25. Contrary to the popular belief or misconception, this doesn't automatically enroll you into military, but it does enroll you automatically into selective service citizen requirement. In the past, you had to register your name into selective service system once you turn 18, but now they do it automatically for you. So, but don't fret, you're not going to war. For more information, go to www.usa.gov to find out if this applies to you, depending on your immigration status.
Wow. This is a powerful information. So that means you don't have to go through the whole rough time of trying to fill out application. They do that automatically when you turn 18.
Exactly.
Well. Thank you, PK, for that information. As you all get ready to enjoy your weekend, here is our MDB quote of the week. Alone, we can do so little, but together, we can do so much. And this was quoted by Ellen Keller.
Ellen Keller, awesome.
Yeah.
Alone we can do so little, but together we can do
so much.
I love it. I love it, man.
That is what marriage is all about.
That's what marriage is all about. Thank you.
Yeah, your team.
All right, that's all we got for today, man. Oh, Jesus, may the Lord help us. May the Lord help us. But I hope we've shared a tip or two on today to help solidify your kingdom union with yourself and your spouse in your marriage, to help solidify your kingdom marriage. Hey. Don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe, and comment down below. Until next time, be the light, be the salt, and remember, all things are possible.
All things are possible if
you believe. We love you with the love of God. We'll see you on the next one.